Alright guys, welcome back to BHM Garage. Today we're going to work on a golf cart again. So we're going to put a steering wheel adapter and a new steering wheel on it. And then we're also going to replace these shocks. There's heavy duty springs, rear springs on it. And then I'm going to show you these shocks that we have. There's some coilovers. Sorry about the fan, it is humid in Tucson today. So here's what we got going on. It's stiff. They don't move. I was driving it the other day down the road and it did not want to move. So we're going to replace these with just some stock ones. Hopefully get some better ride out of it. And that is the plan for this video. So let me get started and I'll set you up and we'll get going. All right. Alright guys, so here we are. This is stock, EZGO TXT steering wheel. The nut is 15/16, which I have right here. I have an impact. That's what I'm going to use just because it is easier. And just like that, it comes right off. So a lot of times you can just kind of hit them. And if it doesn't come off, we'll all right, let me get the puller out. Let me show you what's going on right now. So I got it off. It is splined 15/16 nut. So what I did and what I had to do is I had to cut inside there, and this is me, but maybe there's a different way. So I cut it inside there, and then I used some of these from my kit. This is the kit I used from Harbor Freight. I just have it around, and I went right in between those two. So, but first what I did is I took the back side of this off. This one in here, covered this up, went on the back side, went on the back side of here. So it's set like this. There's two screws, and it went, right there. So I took that off, and I beat it with a hammer because I wasn't going to use it. So I used a mallet, got it up enough to where I can get back here. Right here, and I just basically did it by hand to get it off the rest of the way. The hardest part was really just using the mallet to get it off, to get it at least broke loose. So I'm going to show you the parts. Actually, it's right here. This is the part I'm using straight off Amazon. Here's the part I am using for the new one. It doesn't come with any bolts or anything. You got a black one since my steering column was black, that I just kind of matched it up. And this will go right in here, and I'll probably bring this up a little bit more. Oop, right over here. Sorry. I'll bring this up a little bit more to it to kind of get it to match a little bit better. So let me put everything away, get this mess cleaned up a little bit, and I'll show you what's going on. All right, so here we are. I basically finished up the steering wheel. Let me show you, turn you around and show you what I got going on, and I'll explain everything that I've done. So this steering wheel, cheap Amazon, I think it cost me like 15 bucks. Not the permanent steering wheel. I will get a different one. When I get that, I will show you. This is just to get it going because that other one was just junk. I do have this. This came off of my Jeep, which it fit perfect, and it does the job right now. When I tightened the collar down, I just basically tightened it down, gave it some ooga doogas, and then got it done. I brought the turn signal horn mechanism. I brought it up as far as I could, and that will be set. I can adjust it as I need. We'll go from there. And then I went and also bought some marine grade stainless steel screws. They were 10, 32 or 34s, 3/4 inch. So that's what I got on here, just because it does sit outside sometimes, or if it rains, I know at least will not rust. So that is what I did so far. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking off these rear shocks, as you can see. So I will start those here in a few, and I will bring you along. All right, see you then. All right, so it's a couple days later. I got the shocks in, get these replaced. I got one done on the back. I'm gonna show you what I did and what I had to do to get this off. Wasn't really easy, but I'll show you guys what's going on. So, first thing I did is I removed the panel here, which is right here, this back panel. And then right over here, if you can see this, right in there, right in there is the bolt. So I got that in, got that done, got it tightened down. Then I had to go down there, and for these ones, it was tight. I had the red spring on there. You can see this is tight, that's tight. I cut it off. This is kind of what I started off with. All right, so this is what I started off with. This one might be a little harder than I want it to be. Anyway, so I had to go in that little hole. Good. And then I'm cutting off right there. So I'm gonna get that done and show you what's going on. I'll set you up and you guys can follow around. So hold on one second. I know this thing moves around a lot. So, all right. You see that better? All right, so that's a lot better. All right, so what I did is so for this side, for these set of shocks, I use 11/16 to get these off. Oops, wrong way. These off. Battery died. Let me go grab a different one. Alright, so then I got that off. And then I took this, because this is hard, and I went So I cut it off. This was the easiest way for me to do it. And then I'm gonna remove that one. So let me remove there, and then I'll be right back. All right, so the back is completed. Let me show you on the front what's going on and what I've had to do. So here is the before with that stiff shock, super stiff. And then here is just the normal TXT EZGO shock. So by 10 LOL, hopefully I said that right. That's who it's by. So I'll show you, so that, and I'll show you in here where I had to go. Grab a flashlight because it's not, it is dark in the garage. All right, so you can see in there, there you go. So that's where it is. That's this panel right here is the key switch and the battery, but I don't use that part anymore. So I have the one that's over here for the lithium battery. So there's that one. And then way over there, I don't know if you can see it. Not sure if you can. I can barely see it. Right there is the other one. So I'm gonna start getting this off, and then I will bring it back on how it is. All right. All right, so I'm done. I measured it prior to when I did the shocks, and I lost about 3/4 of an inch of height, which I'm okay with, especially since how stiff it was. To get them off, basically what I did is, I'll show you, see if I can show you here. For this side over here, I went behind here. So right up there, there somewhere, I went up there and took off the nut and unscrewed it and got it off. So it's kind of tricky, especially when it's so tight, but wasn't too bad. It's done. Like I said, I lost about 3/4 of an inch. So pretty happy with it. I gotta definitely drive it. I'm gonna drive it tomorrow. Hopefully I can get home on time. I've been getting home really late. See how it is to go back down that same road, and I'll give you an update on how it is. So if you're happy with everything, like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all the comments that you guys have been giving. All the questions, it's been great. I really appreciate all those, all the thumbs up, and all the subscribers. Keep subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.